8121 Talk, Season 5, Episode 4.
Episode 4.
We got it together now.
Yeah.
We had a typo situation where
Right.
I put Episode 6.
6 on the last one, but yeah.
Episode 4. How you doing?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm good too.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Sunday.
It's Sunday.
Yesterday, let's get all the banter out of the way.
Okay.
Joking around and stuff. You was talking to somebody and they expressed the fact that they can't wait for football season to start.
Oh, yeah.
Who was that?
The guy that you get your laptops and
Corey.
stuff from.
Corey.
Yeah.
And I told you when we got in the truck, you noticed I didn't say anything.
Mm-hmm. Why you didn't say anything?
I got a problem with Dabo.
Why Dabo, who you thought we saw at Village Inn yesterday?
Yeah, I thought I said him yesterday. I was getting ready to ask him a question and not finish my sentence. Why didn't you get shit over? But yeah, I'm sort of looking forward to NFL this year.
Mm-hmm.
But I read something this morning where Lamar Jackson is so hyped over, what's his name? Hopkins. What's his name? His first name?
DeAndre.
D-Hop. D-Hop. He played for the Ravens now. And they said that Lamar is just bragging about him like, yo, he doing crazy stuff on the field already.
I mean, he's good.
Yeah, I wonder why Kansas City got rid of him.
Maybe he wasn't a good fit. You always be talking about systems and everything, so maybe he wasn't a good fit in their system.
But is he an AB though? He's not that type.
D-Hop is good.
But he's not attitude wise, he's not a AB.
Oh, you talking about crazy?
Yeah.
Nah, I don't think so.
AB posted something on Twitter saying that he was moving to another country and y'all get y'all child support. Get it on your own or something.
To his baby mamas?
Yeah, he be bugging, man. Anyway, I can't wait for NFL talk. We coming with that this year.
Oh, yeah, we are.
Dallas got a new weapon with Pickens.
Dallas.
Or is it Pickin or Pickens?
Pickens.
George Pickens. Pickin got a new weapon. It's gonna be tough. With if Dak comes back healthy and you got Pickens and you got CD. Ooh. Pickens and you have CD. Don't forget Pickens is the one that said, I get paid to catch the ball, not to block.
Yeah.
So hopefully he'll get that together.
Yeah. Dallas. Dallas is still my team.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying anything. I'm just gonna sit back and see what happens.
Well, if anybody got any suggestions, I'm looking for a new team. So if someone can make it make sense to me, I'm out of there.
You trying to stay in the East?
NFC East, yeah.
Well, you only got 3 choices. Dallas, Philly, and the Commanders.
It was at this moment that I knew that I fucked up.
Right. You only got 3 choices.
She's going to try to push her team.
No, I think you should go with the Commanders.
Commanders. Why not the Eagles?
I think Jalen going to do some good things this year.
Okay. I might stick with the Giants.
Stick with him.
I might. Russell is Russell Wilson, which he's our new quarterback. He's good. And then I've always been a fan of Jameis. And everything that he does. Everything that he does, which is I've always been a fan. Yeah, I might switch teams. I might not. But anyway, 8121 Talks. What, you was getting ready to say something?
No, I wasn't going to say anything.
8121 Talks, Season 5, Episode 4.
Episode 4.
We'll be right back.
Let's go.
I question why this man do what they do. Searching through clues. What picture you drew? I'm reading the room. How you bounce back from the dark in the time that you lose. I'll be running the place so we gonna make a move. And as the time goes, I'm looking to see will you improve. And what's your real purpose for this thing that you claim?
8121 Talk, we are back. What's the subject for this podcast?
Well, the subject, just the different parenting styles because of, the time we're in, really. The different generations, the way they parent their kids, and how does the internet or social media affect how you parent your kids?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. when we were talking about that a few minutes ago, I get it, but then I don't get it. Because we had a conversation off mic, because we probably had better podcasts off mic. We are Generation X.
Yes.
Different type of parenting style. We were raised by the baby boomers.
The baby boomers.
Those people believed in hard work and rules.
Yes.
Either do what I say or get up.
That was the definition of children should be seen and not heard. Because we could not express anything.
No. Nothing. So
don't even say I don't like you. What? Well, that was like curse words. I don't like what?
You was telling me something that was funny. You said you can't even say you telling a story.
No, you can't say a lie.
Yeah.
You better not call nobody a lie.
It's like you just call your parent out of their name. You a lie. What?
But you're not even going to put your mouth to say that about your parents or anyone else.
Right. Speaking on that subject, I remember my mother would be like sitting in the house and she would be talking like to, Miss Roberta. Roberta. And I'm just sitting there, mouth wide open. Y'all can't see me, but like this, like, and eventually my mom would go, hold on a minute. What are you doing? Stay out of grown folk business. Get your ass out of here.
Why are you all in my mouth?
Yeah. Like, why you
Go
all
somewhere.
about my mouth?
Go somewhere.
Us being from that generation, we inherited a little bit of parenting style from them.
We definitely did. We definitely did. So I know that there's some things that I held on to, but then there are some things that I told myself when I was a teenager.
You're not going to do
when I get grown, I'm not going to do that to my kids.
There's a change right there.
Right. And so where I was not able to express myself. I know I told you this story before, but you didn't get to choose what you wanted to eat. You ate what was put in front of you, right? And that was that. So I can remember, I do not like liver. Liver and onions with gravy. That was a regular meal in my house at least twice a month.
Liver and gravy?
Liver, onions, and gravy. I can remember sitting at that table one night. It took me an hour and a half to eat that liver. And the way I did it was I had to cut a little piece of liver, wrap it up in a whole bunch of bread and put it in my mouth so I couldn't taste the liver. But I didn't have a choice to say, I don't like this. Daddy said, you eat this food.
Or you don't eat.
You stay here till you finish.
Oh.
No. Sometimes he would say, you either eat this or you don't eat. But that night he was like, you stay here till you finish.
Or you go to bed hungry. Right? Because I got that quite a bit.
Right.
Yeah.
So I try to let my children express themselves some, but not as much, but some.
But here's a question.
But they got to express themselves.
Because of where we're going to go with this conversation, is that where the problem starts?
Probably. Oh, no.
Probably. Okay, so let's look at us. Generation X. We're known as, so the size of families got small during our generation. So we are known as latchkey kids.
Right.
We sort of we were raised to be independent.
Oh, definitely.
We were raised to toughen it up.
Oh, yeah.
Like even my mother being a full-blown woman, I've had things that happen to me and she'd be like, yo, it ain't that serious.
Right. And stop all that crying. What you crying for?
After she just smacked the living crap out of you.
Right. And then they be like, can you breathe?
Yeah.
You're not dying.
Don't make me give you something worth crying for.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So we come from a different generation.
Right.
So again, I say, are we the cause of what we're getting ready to talk about, which is the internet raising kids today?
I don't think we're the cause, because by the time the internet became, and I can't even say in every household, because when it first started out with that AOL, what's that chime thing? But with
you have mail.
With AOL, I can remember that was like in 99, 2000.
Depends on where you was. I was in New York City, so 98.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. It wasn't in every household.
Right.
My oldest was 13. So
well, we talk about Chevette.
Yeah.
Chevette's generation Y.
Yeah. So she was 13. So
they're a little different.
The internet really didn't have that much of an influence on her or the rest of them.
Right.
So I don't know. I don't think it wasn't us.
Right. So Chevette's born in 87, right?
Yes.
And then Xavier's 90.
Yes.
And then Shakaya is 93.
Right.
Yeah.
And even when Shakaya was 16, 17, 18, she was not on the internet like that because it was just starting to come into, So let's take Darrell. Darrell's born in 97. Mm-hmm. So more common.
He's actually grew up in that age where there's always been an internet.
Right.
There's always been a cell phone.
Right.
It's different. So they have other things that occupy their mind.
But it was at the beginning of it. So it wasn't, there was no TikTok, there was no Instagram and none of that stuff like that. They did have MySpace. Right. Now, my kids spent a lot of time on MySpace putting music videos and stuff like that up, but it wasn't like something that would hold their attention for hours at a time.
Not yet, at least.
Exactly.
But did we allow that to happen?
Some, but they didn't get to be on the computer like that because I don't know about you, but we only gave them a certain amount of time. You wasn't going to be sitting in front of that computer like that.
So can I play devil's advocate here? Mm-hmm. Why?
Because there's other things to do.
Like?
Go outside, go play, read a book.
Times have changed with crime. Something. People are different. It's not that family community thing. So do you trust your kid outside?
But my kids didn't come up at that time.
Right.
They were still able to go outside and play. Like there was plenty of days where they would leave the house and I don't see them again until maybe lunchtime, and then after lunchtime, they're not coming back until the lights came on.
But see, that's one of the things that, when I was looking at the different generations, with Generation X stretches from 1965 to 1980, somewhere around there. Mm-hmm. Chevette and Xavier, Al, Rashad, they all born in Y. Mm-hmm.
Or millennials.
They're a little closer to us. Mm-hmm. But that next one, Darrell and them, they born into this.
Yeah.
They born into cell phones. And think about this. When you moved to Selma, right? How many channels did you have on your TV?
You have the three main channels, ABC, NBC, CBS, and then you have PBS.
Okay.
And there might have been something else.
And most of them went off around midnight.
Yeah.
So by the time Darrell was born, you had a plethora of channels.
Yeah.
That never went off.
Yeah.
Other things that occupy your mind.
Yeah.
Did we allow that to happen? Did we lean on that TV or that computer or that cell phone to say, go find something to do? Instead of saying go outside, we said go find something to do, and they go in the room and blah.
I don't know about we, because I can't, like I said, I can't speak to that because by the time the cell phone and computer became a part like that, all of my kids were already teenagers.
Right.
One of them was grown, the other one was almost grown, and the other one was starting high school.
Right.
So I can't say that.
Right.
Now with the grandchildren, that's a different thing. But it's not, and not saying that the internet is a bad thing, because it's not. It's just that you have to monitor what your children are being exposed to. Because whereas we got our information from our parents, which might have been limited.
Flawed sometimes.
It was limited.
Right.
And then we got our information from our friends.
Right.
But even from your friends, it might be a little truth in it because maybe they got their information from their parents.
Right.
And then we might have got some information from some magazines or something, but that was that.
With getting it from friends, there's still an up close and personal, intimate situation.
Right.
So the lesson that you get, you can actually see them and talk to them.
But with the internet, you have people on here saying whatever they want to say. Do we know it's true? We don't know if it's true.
No.
And then you see things like TikTok and Instagram and all these different websites. These kids can go on these websites and do whatever. And then I know that you could say, well, you're a parent. You can set parental controls.
It's tough.
You can. you can set parental controls on the devices that you provided for your child. But what about when your child goes to school and their friends have devices that don't have parental controls on it, and you're sitting up here watching how to murder somebody? I mean, it happens.
Yeah, it's tough.
It's is
tough. If I may, like learning from the internet, we talked about something we was laying down this morning, clout chasing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to mention the person that it's attached to. But I've always had a concern with the person you're watching on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, whatever. Are they real?
Are they real? Is their life real?
And what they're saying, is it catered to me? Because the last episode we talked about truth.
Mm-hmm.
Has this person constructed a subjective truth that they just built this persona, but it's not relevant to me in my life?
Right.
So when you're dealing with a parent, I can look at you. Say if you were my daughter, and I can see your temperament and stuff, then I can cater my lessons to you.
To you. Right.
I got 4 boys.
Right.
Each one of the mothers is different.
Mm-hmm.
Right. One is a little, needs a little more attention.
Mm-hmm.
One don't really give much, so I don't really know.
Mm-hmm.
One is, y'all can't see me, but one is like this, which I don't. You gotta laugh at that. You know who that is?
Always thinking or making you think he's thinking.
He's always inside.
Yeah, and then the other one is so laid back and chill.
You don't know.
You just don't know.
Now he is Generation Z. Yeah, Z.
I'm talking about the second oldest.
Oh, that's the one that he don't really give me much.
Right. Okay.
But the youngest one is totally dependent on. Listen, we got every channel in the world on this TV up here,
and he'll be on his phone
watching the game. Like, are you serious?
Right.
What? I think you mentioned it before.
Like, why would you watch the game on your little bitty phone
when everyone is here?
Right.
We can talk. We can. Nah, they don't care.
And you have a 65-inch screen TV right outside your bedroom door that you can go watch the game on.
A couple of them.
Right.
Yeah, downstairs. But anyway, the point I'm trying to make is once it's so far out of our reach and the world is going the way it's going, that we sort of rely on that to free us up to do things.
I think some parents had to rely on it because we kind of came up in a time where 2-parent households were pretty common. And, you know, there were some 1-parent households, right? Of course, you came up in a 1-parent household, but there was always somebody around, even if it wasn't your parents. The parents in the neighborhood were there.
It was more of a communal thing.
Right. But then as the world went on and it got harder, sometimes even being a 2-parent household is still no guarantee that there will always be 1 parent in the house because both parents have to work to make it. Yeah. So then you have to rely on.
See, here's the thing. Like you just said that. I see it a little different. Where I grew up at, there might have been 1 2-parent household. Everybody else that I've named, like for instance, Raymond James Tyrone, that's just their mother. With me, it's just my mother. Ferdinand was just his dad. Even your boyfriend, Lucius. I mean, where was Dad?
Out across the river.
So it was a lot of single stuff, which I want to piggyback off what you're saying. My mother had to go to work. Right? So especially in the summer, like we were just talking about, she leave, she called back like 8 o'clock, 8, 9 o'clock. Hey, what you doing? Did you eat that food? Ma, can I go to across the street? Yep. But have your ass back here by 11, 12.
Yeah.
We grew up like that.
Yeah.
Independent. They got to do what they got to do. But later down the line, that we use technology ourselves, you saying you didn't, to give those kids something to do. You can keep them in place. You know where they at. They on that game.
Well, I use technology, right?
Okay.
But not so much the internet. Game systems.
Okay.
VCR.
Okay.
You know, what have you. But my kids spend a lot of time outside. And like I said, it's not that the internet is bad because they can learn. It's just that how do you control it?
Right. I don't know.
And is it a bad thing?
Is it a bad thing? Which is basically what we're asking right now. Was it a bad thing? Right? Because you're in a unique situation. You are grandma, right? Mm-hmm. So you have a grandchild that has kids. Mm-hmm. Her parenting style might be something totally different.
And it is.
It is.
Totally different. But it works.
Okay.
Because she spends a lot of time with her boys.
Okay.
You know, but
there probably are some things that she would do that you probably wouldn't.
Probably, yeah.
Because that independent thing, our parents will quickly say, go sit your ass down. So
I guess what it is when some parents let the internet replace them.
Okay.
Where they don't even take the time to talk to their children about things, show them things, teach them anything. And every time you turn around, they're telling their child, go get your tablet, go sit down somewhere.
Right.
Take this phone, go sit down somewhere. And they don't interact with their kids at all.
So are you saying that some parents went out and bought an iPad to babysit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's okay to let them use the iPad and give them an hour time, or how long the movie is, an hour and a half, 2 hours. Hour and a half, 2 hours to watch a movie.
Right.
But then after that movie is over, then you should pull it back and be like, okay, let's talk, blah, 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 or what have you. Then you spend some time with your child.
But if you've been, and especially you've been in the Army for over 20 years, man, you come home.
You're tired.
Mm-hmm. What do you do?
It's hard because there's been times where I've came home and just want to lay down and be telling them kids to go somewhere.
So not doing your time, I'm just using you for an example, but so you go in the room, you lay down, your feet are hurting, you've been dealing with soldiers all day, and then, but Shikaya's in the room watching YouTube. Mm-hmm. Maybe you can rest on that. Like, I know she's not outside. Mm-hmm. You understand what I mean?
Yeah, I guess it's kind of difficult to...
It's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough.
So...
Are we the cause of it?
Maybe we are.
Maybe?
Yeah, maybe we are.
If I jump into generations, I, did a lot of reading up, and we sat here and read some stuff, and we are the generation that created a lot, technology wise,
and pushed a lot.
The guys that own Google, they Generation X, right? The guys that own just about everything right now, they our age. I like to look at it like we grew up and said, "Man,
I wish I
could do this." And then when we got older, we created it.
Yes,
right, and we gave it to them, but we still got some of our baby boomer stuff. So I think Generation Y, you said millennials?
Millennials,
we kind of eased up on them a little bit, and then it changed a lot with them, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like right now, it's amazing when I see a 20-year-old with a kid. I'm not saying it's bad or anything.
Right.
I'm saying for us, 20 years ago was 2005. We were fully grown. Like now a 20-year-old has a 1 or 2 year old child or older sometimes in some cases. And it's like, wow, I don't know if I could have functioned at that age. I don't know if I could have did that because what was given to me by my mother, my grandmother.
I had a child at 20.
Right. But they made sure, right, that you stayed a child in a child's place. So the kids nowadays are 20. They're much more forward thinking, more mature than we were. If you understand what I'm trying to say? I think
so.
I don't know if I would have been able to jump in. Now I heard what you just said. I'm listening to you. I do think there's a difference between men and women. I always tell you that.
Right.
Women gonna do what they gotta do.
Right.
Whether it's rackety or whatever, they gonna do what they gotta do. A guy, moment of silence. He'll leave them mother kids hanging in a heartbeat.
Some guys. It depends on the maturity level of that person.
No, I'm just saying women mature a
Yeah.
little bit faster.
Yeah.
You know, so you have a child, you're going to do what you got to do. Whether it be, I mean, I've seen women that sell drugs.
Not always, because there's plenty of,
Generally.
okay, because there's plenty of women out here that had kids
Ain't
at a
nothing.
young age and passed them kids off to other people.
Now, there was one thing about Generation X that we grew up so independently and doing what we do that when it was time to have kids, hey man, y'all find something to do because I want to do this for my life. Is that us?
Yeah, somewhat.
There was also an article I read that said Generation X had been designated as the worst grandparents
Oh yeah,
of all the generations
right.
because we don't want to. Well, I use myself for an example, and I say this all the time to you. I feel like us as grandparents, we're second line of defense. Hey man, those your kids, bro. Like I don't. No, if there's a problem and you need me, I'm there. But I'm not there all the time while you go and do what you do.
Yeah, and I told you that doesn't apply to everybody.
Right.
Yeah,
It apply to me.
it don't apply to me.
Because it's like, I'm 57, right? But I still feel like I'm in my 40s. And there are things that I still want to do.
Right,
I had you.
right,
I did whatever I could do for you.
right.
Now you had your own. Why am I still doing for yours like it's you? I hope that makes sense.
Yeah,
So, but can I stick to it sometime? Well, you know, I'm probably the softest guy on the planet, but it's on my mind.
sometimes.
Yeah. What do you think about that as us as grandparents, Generation
Oh,
X?
I don't think I'm a bad grandparent. My grandkids say I'm mean though, but I don't think I'm mean. No, I don't know. I don't think I'm a bad grandparent because they know they can call me and get whatever they want.
Well,
text me.
that's one thing.
Yeah,
But you already did some things that shows me you outside of the spectrum.
Right.
Meaning, you know, grands could come and live with you.
yeah, they come live with me whenever they get ready to.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm as open. Like, so I grew up by myself, right? And I respect that privacy and that freedom to move like I want to move. But the flip side of that is I hate being by myself.
Right.
So
You will let them come live too. I mean,
but I have an attitude.
sometimes.
But I have an attitude. I mean, look at you. I'm going to throw you under the bus. It sure would be nice to go to the kitchen and get something to drink without having to get fully dressed.
Oh yeah.
That's you.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes I want the house to be empty so I can walk around naked.
So you threw that in. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? So is that the way we were raised, like generation, our experience and how we grew up, and mom got to be at work. We by herself all the time. And we were taught to handle things.
Yeah, we were taught to handle things. I don't know about that by myself all the time because I was not by myself all the time.
Here we go, everybody. Here we go.
I was not.
Would you like to elaborate on that?
I mean, I had my sister, and then there wasn't that many times where my mother was not at home. So
Right.
I was hardly ever at home by myself unless they went somewhere. And then by myself, no, I had to go up the street or something like that.
Because
Yeah.
you think it's because your sister, there's a 5-year difference. So it's more like you babysitting her.
Oh yeah, I
body.
was definitely babysitting her. I don't think I got to the point of being by myself in the house until after I moved to Selma. And, I was 15 then.
Right.
So being by myself at 8, 9, and 10, that didn't happen. That didn't happen for me.
And it happened for me all the time.
Right. So it's different. So I don't even know if we even made a point here.
No, well, I mean, but no, we didn't make a point.
Right.
But we are basically what you're saying is most of it is dictated. Is it nature or nurture? Right. It depends on your situation. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. It depends on the situation. And I guess it could be good in some instances, the social media, whatever.
Yeah.
Because kids do learn. I mean, They give out tablets in school now. They don't even give books.
They sure
Every
do.
child has a tablet. They get it assigned the first of the year, and they keep it all year, and all their assignments and everything is on the tablet.
What's that word? It's not autonomously synchronized learning.
Yeah.
So I noticed that when Zarius first came here, we would have tons and tons of paper and notebooks and dividers.
Yeah.
If you notice, when Zarius, the first time we went to pick up school supplies, he probably got maybe 2 or 3 binders, and that's it.
So
everything is on the computer.
It's totally different. So it can be used for good, but then when does that cross over into where now you just expect to throw a device in your child's hand and let that teach the child everything they need to know? So that's my thing. You have to monitor it, control it, and try your best to not let social media teach your children ethics and morals and right from wrong. Because there's so many people or so many platforms on social media where that is not happening, and they'll learn some things that they shouldn't learn, and they'll be exposed to some things that they shouldn't be exposed to at such an early age, where their minds are still developing and they can't really get the concept of what they're looking at. That's what I'm saying.
Gotcha. So let's end it by saying this.
Okay.
I spoke to you and I said that one of the main things that I try to put into any child, whether grand or whatever, is I try to manage their expectations. So when they get out into the world, understand that the way things went at home, it might not necessarily pan out that way.
Right.
So in my way, the internet is only going to show you what works, if that makes sense. I'm going to get on the other side of that and say, it might not happen that way. And I know that you might not agree with the way I see things. I curse at kids. And the reason I curse at kids is I want you to hear that. I want you to hear where it comes from. I want it to fall on your ears. And you heard me call you so many times that when you out here the basketball court and somebody shoots a jumper, you call foul. Yo, man, bitch, you know, it ain't. It don't, oh my God, he said that to me.
Or it don't trigger you.
It don't trigger you because you're used to it. Right?
But then,
go ahead.
But then some people would say, well, is that a good thing?
Okay.
Should your child be used to being cursed at?
It's not cursed at. It's, see, there's one thing.
Being exposed.
Yeah, being exposed to it. I'm not disrespecting them.
Right.
You know, so I try to manage their expectations. And you know what I say because you heard me say this before. I can't stop you from cursing. But you better know when. It's a time and a place for it.
Right.
So I that's all I can control.
Right.
Like managing the expectations. Dad was not really giving me much. Like I need to do this, but I know he can help me, but he's not really saying anything. I want you to come to me.
Right.
Because if you expect the world to come to you,
right,
it's not going to happen.
Okay.
So I try to, that's what I see from it. As far as raising your kids, I think at the time that we're in, you kind of borrow a little bit, but you have to monitor exactly. You have to be involved. If that makes sense. Like, okay,
involved.
If you notice with these streamers, I'll have, well, Elijah, I might come in here and sit down and go, what is this guy talking about? And I might go into my spiel and Elijah's looking at me like I'm crazy.
Right.
And I'll say, well, that guy, Kai Cenat, he did something to get here to make that type of money. Don't forget the hard work behind it.
Right.
Don't just sit there and go, I want to say and do, because a lot of it is just entertainment.
Right. That makes sense.
That's all I'm saying about it. Did we start it? Maybe. But we started out of our own emptiness, and we know what we wanted. And we created it. But it should be managed. I don't think it should be, here's an iPad, get lost.
Exactly.
Let me add this. You know what I can't stand?
What?
Let's say we get in a car and we drive into Denver. and the kid is in the back seat. They got their phone or their iPad. They're not even looking up to see the trees or the road or anything. They're not even talking. They're on that device. That's why I think she get involved. Not like in these movies, these corny movies where, hey, everybody, let's sing a song. Just interact. Like, are you good?
Well, sometimes singing songs is good.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that.
Okay.
But is there anything you want to add to it?
No, I think I'm good.
But did you state bad or good thing? Internet.
Like I said, it's both.
Okay.
You just have to monitor and you got to pay attention.
Okay.
But you still have to be involved. You have to get your input in. You can't let the only thing being put into your child come from social media.
Are we the creators of this?
Yeah, I guess so.
It's us.
Yeah.
It ain't the baby boomers because they
Right,
had nothing. It's got to be us.
Yeah.
Because we exist in all those times. We exist in the baby boomers time. We exist when there wasn't, well, let's say we exist when there wasn't the internet. We exist when there was.
Yeah.
We exist when the cell phones became. We exist now with cell phones reached an all-time high. It's like that peripheral is a part of your body. How many times have you walked out of the door and said, I forgot my phone?
Well, I do that all the time.
All the time. And
Half
then
the time I don't
sometimes
know where my phone is.
we live through all of this. So we might be.
We might be. Shame on us.
Shame on us. 8121 Talk, season 5, episode 4.
Yeah.
And we out of here.
We out.
Think about what we said. Some people might want to change their style a little bit. I'm not saying you're going to get it right.
Right.
But like you just said, pay attention, at least try. We out.
I question why this man do what they do. Searching through clues. What picture you drew? I'm reading the room. How you bounce back from the dark in the time that you lose. I'll be running the place so we gonna make a move. And as the time goes, I'm looking to see will you improve. And what's your real purpose for this thing that you claim you do? Is it love or you just want attention from a couple of dudes? Or maybe love from women long as they get it from you? Would your knowledge expand past what you already knew? Would you stretch past your